Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MICE talk from Liberty International Tourism Group. I'm your host, Maximilian, CEO of the Liberty Group. In each episode, we will dive deep into the latest MICE industry trends, share insights from seasoned professionals, explore innovative event technologies, and showcase success stories that redefine the landscape of MICE. Today we have with us Annie Corcoran, our Managing Director of Liberty East Africa, Mario Enzesberger, Founder and CEO of the Liberty Group, and Marc Haeni, our Sales Representative in the US market. So welcome Annie, Mario and Marc to the MICE Talk with Liberty. I'm really excited to have this podcast. Why? Because we had, how long was it, 2-3 weeks ago, our annual meeting in Kenya, Nairobi, and it was a fantastic experience. So we are full of emotions, of unique experiences we made in the Safari National Park. So therefore, welcome again. I think Kenya is one of the future markets to gain unique experiences. So Annie, how would you describe Kenya to someone who has never been there?
I would describe Kenya as unexpected. I don't think people expect that it is so well organized that you're met from the moment you get off your airplane to the moment you depart. You're always with somebody. Kenyans themselves are very, very friendly people and love hospitality. They're very welcoming. And I think also what's unexpected about Kenya is that we have everything here that you could possibly ask for. Most people think of Kenya as a safari destination to see wildlife, which yes is there, but there's plenty more to offer as well. We have lakes, we have fantastic beaches, we have Mount Kenya if you want to go hiking. We have desert, we have savanna, we even have a rainforest. Like, it's a very varied country. I think also people don't expect that it's not blazing hot. People have this picture in their minds that anywhere in Africa is blazing hot. It's not like that. Kenya is on the equator, so we have pretty much the same temperature throughout the year, varying by a few degrees here and there. 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of night. And so, you know, there's a lot to offer, an awful lot to offer here.
Yeah, I mean, also important, thank you, Annie, for this short introduction. Mario, you are living in Kenya since how many years now?
I am business-wise in Kenya since 27 years, my goodness, and since 27 years with the Corcorans, also remarkable, speaks for the country and for the people. And look, my love was gradually getting deeper and deeper, and basically I always felt more in love with the country, with the beauty of the country, the diversity of the country, and also the people. You know, I would say rarely you find smiles like you find it in Kenya, and also the wildlife and everything what you can see, and what Annie mentioned with the diversity and this perfection and imperfection, the combination of that all makes it for me. Totally living, really, I'm here since 6 years now. So 6 years, Kenya is my home, and I'm very happy with the decision, because also for my family, for my child, for everything, we all happy to be here and enjoy the beauty of the country.
Yeah, that's very true, and I think Marc, was it your first time in Kenya now?
It was, Max. Thank you for having me. And what an experience it really has been. You know, truly, we're back, I think, 8-9 days, but I still draw, you know, on this, I mean, really most wonderful experience, you know, surrounded by, you know, the diverse landscapes to, you know, the vibrant capital in Nairobi, where we started with our meeting, that also showcased us what the infrastructure actually is, and I will admit, yes, being a first timer, I did not expect it that way.
Thank you, Mark. I mean, this is for me, the annual meeting is like our Liberty incentive event trip to Kenya. So, Annie, would you say that what are the trends you see in terms of mice business to Kenya, to Nairobi?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more requests, actually. You know, we sort of went a little bit dead with world economics and everything because Kenya's considered a long-haul destination. We went a bit quiet on the incentive market, but that seems to have restarted now. And we're seeing a lot more requests, bigger groups, and longer itineraries. We're getting good feedback from everybody. Kenya's in the news for all the right reasons. So yeah, it's looking very, very positive.
What was for me also very special and unique is that you have your own vehicles, right? So whenever clients are arriving at the airport, you immediately take over with your team. So how many cars do you currently have?
We have 20 Land Cruisers in our fleet right now. I think also, just to quickly mention that going on safari in Kenya, you do need Land Cruisers. You can't do huge tourist buses here. It just doesn't work in the national parks. So yeah, at the moment we have 20 Land Cruisers in our fleet.
So when we talk about hotels and infrastructure, especially for MICE clients all around the world, how does it look? What is the current development? And we think, Mario, you mentioned in Kenya last time, how many projects, hotel projects are in the pipeline right now?
You can go for 3 nights to Kenya or for 4 nights to Kenya. You can have a conference, you can have a meeting, you have all the amenities there, beautiful things, plus you have the national park. I mean, you have been in the national park. I think we had 7-8 rhinos in 4 hours. And the dramatic finish, what our team prepared with the sundowner, where you see on one side the rainbow, on the other side the sun going down, and then you see the skyline in front of us, the animals and the rhinos. I think that's magic and cannot be repeated anywhere else. Kenya had severe travel problems out of road structures. We had times collecting the clients from the hotels and 5 hours to the airport. That's history, that's over. We have a flyover highway structure where more or less the time is reduced. The airport is functioning. Nowadays, the running joke always between me and Andreas, the luggage comes earlier in Nairobi as we ever get it in Frankfurt, Paris, London, or somewhere else. So there is around 125 hotel projects named in Eastern Africa, Kenya. Then on the other side, you have different airlines flying into. You have in the meantime a wide variety coming into Kenya. Known airlines are coming into Nairobi. Some of them are also going to Mombasa. The system of flying between in Kenya is also very good nowadays. KQ, Kenya Airways, now has brand new Embraers. They also have for short flights a video, a TV screen in front of your seat, which we still miss in Europe. And one last point, I think price quality relation for money is still very okay in Kenya. The Kenya shilling, unfortunately, was a little bit weak over the last 1.5 years, which is good for the travelers because everything which is extras in the country are reasonable priced. And in general, if you compare with big cities for incentives, the prices here are fantastic.
We had a big incentive, 170 people in February this year. They stayed at the Pan-Afric Hotel in Nairobi, which was able to accommodate all of them at once. They also had a small conference, a gala dinner at the hotel. We drove them, which was an impressive sight, all the fleet of vehicles. Drove them to the Masai Mara, where unfortunately we had to split them into 2 lodges, but quite close to each other. And then on the next day, we had a big sort of Masai Olympics where we took over a couple of Masai villages and the clients just experienced the Masai way of life. So there was competitions with spear throwing and they were shown how to do the Masai beading. They were given local porridge, and it was just a really fantastic experience for the clients, as they'd never seen anything like it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final dinner in the Masai Mara was a boma dinner, so like a bush dinner, where everybody came together. There was Maasai dancing, barbecue evening. It was just fantastic. And we also gave them a little sustainability talk as well. Next day, they drove back to Nairobi, and we had lunch at Karen Blixen Coffee Garden in their tent. And then they all left after literally 4 nights on ground. So a really fantastic experience by all of them. And yeah, that was 170 people. So it was very successful.
And Marc, I mean, we had our Liberty annual meeting, so maybe you want to share a little bit your experience you made. What have we done? What did you feel? What did you see?
Yeah, well, I think it really, really showcased actually what the combinations are that can be organized for our clients, for our partners. So it was a perfect display. So a big congrats to all of you that were involved. So we've arrived, of course, in Nairobi. And to your point, yes, a few hours more coming from the US. But to Mario's point earlier, we also have, brand new additional airlifts, more connectivities, non-stop flights, new out of, or additional ones out of New York's JFK, plus, the recently announced strategic partnership that was expanded between Delta Airlines and Kenya Airways. So first of all, airlift is getting much better, has not been bad in the past. And I have to say, once you touch down, again, you're greeted with the smiles of really what becomes true Kenyan friends. And it's really not just a saying, when Annie and her team, and I still get goosebumps as I talk here, introduced her team to us during the annual meeting, and
Yes.
always said, we came as guests, but we really leave as family. And I have never ever experienced that somewhere else in my life, and I was pretty fortunate to travel quite a bit all over the world, but I have never experienced that culture, that warmth of the people, and that carried through an amazing couple of days of meetings that we've had. And again, where else can you have a meeting in a capital that basically hosts its own national park that you can overlook from your terrace? Yes, Mario, I will admit my blood pressure still goes up quite a bit just by looking at some of the videos that we've captured. I will also admit not all of the footage is from me, as I was sitting in the middle row of the vehicle while others either pretended to be so courageous and so cool. What we've experienced is quite hard to describe. It's just something you gotta go experience it yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Marc. So Annie, I mean, it's not only Kenya, right? You're operating also in the surrounding countries.
Yes, we have DMC partners in Tanzania, Rwanda, and Uganda that also help us a lot with their local knowledge and expertise. We've had very successful meetings in Rwanda and in Tanzania and Dar es Salaam. So they've been very great partners. So we work very, very closely with them to make sure that the Liberty standard is followed through in those countries.
Perfect. Yeah, East Africa is really developing in the right direction. So it's really some positive vibes, and also a little bit the personal touch of Liberty. I mean, Mario mentioned already, since when are you with Liberty, with Mario together in the company?
We're 27 years old this November.
Yeah,
So it's been a long haul.
Exactly.
We've had children, no divorces, but we've had children, and yeah, Mario's seen my kids grow up. I've seen little Mario grow up. So yeah, it's a very wonderful friendship / partnership, but more than anything, we are family after all this time.
I would take the opportunity also to say thank you to Annie, because it's not normal that partnership and friendship and combination, like feeling like a family, goes automatically over 27 years. This was a good experience, and it's still a lovely experience, and we really keep these values up. And end of the day, it's a destination which you need somebody who is with you. You can't self-drive through Kenya. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone. And the ambassadors out on the road, the guides, the driver guides, everybody is the essence of our business. We can create a lot of things, but if these guys are not doing what we want, and his husband Richard, which is one of my oldest friends, and we are like day and night. We are so different like day and night, but maybe that is the glue which makes it in a certain way and fits, and he taught me about Africa, everything what I know from Richard. I taught him a little bit about the rest of the world. So we had remarkable nice trips. So we should maybe write once a book.
Mario, I think you mentioned this once. There's a very young population, and there's also an IT industry which is growing in Nairobi. So the tech industry is growing in Nairobi. So there are really some positive vibes going on in Kenya itself, and especially in Nairobi.
Kenya, what shall I say? I mean, the development, I tell it always like that. When Richard and me, when we're leaving Nairobi to make a trip together, before we could say that 15 minutes after the border of Nairobi, there was no more whatsoever signal, no more communication possible, nothing. A later stage then came any kind of satellite telephones, highly complicated, highly expensive, big machines like suitcases. But it was this way of how we saw then this country to develop. And end of the day, it's really impressive to see what Kenya created. The population is extremely young, 19-year-old. I think 80% is under 20 or under 19. This also makes a vibrant structure. Education is getting better. Possibility to learn is getting more. Of course, also with the help of all the big companies which are coming in. I mean, from the Googles to the Intels to the Microsofts to whatsoever, they are going in building centers. The Kenyans are very creative, very good. We have the so-called Z generation, which we all hear about, that they would like life-work balance. I don't want. Here, they are hungry to create something. They want to do something. They find it fun. They have big fun. They go out, they enjoy, and the middle class is growing extremely. So that makes the mixture, which really is attractive also for coming in, for young people, for middle-aged people, for elder people, for everyone. We all forgot, we also have a nice train between Mombasa and Nairobi. It's a very budget way of transportation, but very good, excellent made. So there's a lot of different ways to serve different kind of budget-orientated incentives and meetings.
And it's sustainable, yeah. With the train, I enjoyed it twice already, and it's fantastic, high quality, like in Europe. About what also is very positive, one of the latest updates, highlights of Kenya is the visa issue, right, Annie? So there were some, since January, it's a visa-free country.
Yeah, Max, it's visa-free, although guests still have to get an ETA, an electronic travel authorization, which they just go online, fill a simple form. Whereas the visas before were $50, the ETAs are $30. I have had very positive feedback from guests that have got it. It's fairly easy and simple and very quick to get.
At Liberty Annual Meeting, I mean, people from all around the world, different nationalities, were able to come to Kenya without any issues. One of the last points, maybe also interesting for our clients, is the currency topic, Annie. So what currencies are you using, or what clients can pay?
So we use the Kenya shilling here, which is the local currency. However, having said that, all major credit cards are accepted. US dollars, cash are accepted mostly in hotels, not in local shops. There, people can pay with credit card or the local currency. But US dollars are very widely accepted. All major currencies, really, for things like tipping or local purchases, credit card or the Kenya shilling.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah. So At the end, yes, we could really talk for hours. I think it's a short summary of what Kenya is about. The best is travel there, organize your next incentive, your next event in Nairobi or in Kenya. Thank you for attending. I hope it was interesting for everybody, and I wish you a wonderful day. And yes, please enjoy Kenya yourself.